Hello again, everybody. This is John and Glenn with BestPriceNutrition.com. Today we're reviewing Purus Labs Muscle Marinade, which comes in fruit punch and grape. Okay, we'll get that out of the way because sometimes we get questions about the flavors. So real quick, Glenn, let's run through the formula. A lot of the ingredients are ingredients we've reviewed more in depth in previous videos, so we're going to brush over them a little bit, but just not go as deep as we usually do. But you can always check out other videos we have. So let's go right off the bat with 6 grams of creatine.
Yeah, 6 grams of creatine. There's also betaine anhydrous and beta-alanine.
And what form of creatine is it?
It says creatine monohydrate. So that's, if you've seen some of our videos, that's our preferred form of creatine. It's got the most research done on it. Again, creatine lends a phosphate group to a naturally circulating ADP or adenosine diphosphate in the body so that you create ATP. Which is 3-phosphates, and that's the cell's natural energy. It's got more research done on it than any other ergogenic aid or supplement in general, so that's what we recommend. There is 6 grams of it, so it's a pretty hefty
dose. A good dose. I mean, typically you're going to see it, like 5 grams is, and that varies a little bit by body weight, but that's kind of the rule of thumb of what is recommended. Like Glenn said, pretty much all the research that demonstrate the benefits of creatine have been done on the monohydrate form. Other forms have come out as revolutionary. They don't bloat you or all this other nonsense. That's all marketing. The truth is they're trying to capitalize on the good research on creatine and say our form is better so they can charge more for it. I mean, that's what it comes down to. So creatine monohydrate's good. That's a nice, good dose, and that's one of the nice things about this. They actually are telling you how much of these ingredients are in there, so that is nice. So moving on from creatine, and real quick, creatine will help with explosive movements. It's not going to help you in aerobic events. So, okay, next.
Yeah, the betaine anhydrous, there's 2.5 grams or 2,500 milligrams. Some of the things that I found about it, it lowers homocysteine in the body. It's often found with glycosamine because I know glycosamine can increase homocysteine. However, that ingredient's not in here.
And the mechanism for that, the glycosamine, what it does is it's a creatine. It's basically creatine without the methyl group. It gets converted to creatine in the liver. So the thought is some of the people who don't respond to creatine can use it. The problem is those methyl groups get donated by your liver, which can increase homocysteine levels. The betaine acts as a methyl donor, so that effect doesn't happen. And typically it's like a 3 to 4 to 1 ratio of betaine to glycosamine. What I found, I think we both looked at the same study. There was a study that actually used the 2.5 gram dose that's in this product and gave it to people for 2 weeks, 14 days, and they found that it improved muscle endurance in the squat. So it's from beetroot juice. It's an antioxidant. So that was the main study I found in terms of being performance enhancing. So I would like to see some more research on it, but there is some efficacy to it, and I guess you can see why it's in there. So.
Definitely.
And then next is the 2 grams of beta-alanine.
Yeah, 2 grams of beta-alanine. Generally, we'll recommend 2.5 to 3 grams of beta-alanine. So 2 grams is a pretty good dose. You'll probably still get the tingles in the face from that. That's a common side effect of it, not something to worry about.
Yeah, some people get it, some people don't. It subsides. There's an actual name for that effect.
Paresthesia?
There you go. I think that's it.
I hope I said that right, too.
You may not have, but that's fine. I'm sure we'll hear about it.
Yeah. So. As far as beta-alanine goes, beta-alanine is something that will help increase your endurance. What it does is your body, as you're working out, your cells create a lot of acids, and it neutralizes those acids because you'll get that build-up, you'll get to your 9th, 10th rep, you get that burn. Beta-alanine will neutralize that, allow you to get the 11, 12 reps, and it's not only within that the reps, it's also within your sets, so towards the end of the workout you may still have some extra energy.
Yeah, you tend to accumulate the acid that dissociates from lactic acid. It's often thought that beta-alanine buffers lactic acid, but really your body makes lactic acid as fuel. So I know I long thought that too and did some more research. Actually, no, it's the acid that dissociates from lactic acid that your body needs to buffer. And your body naturally makes some beta-alanine in your liver in order to maintain intracellular pH. It was just found that supplementing it does, in fact, increase those effects. And as Glenn said, it's going to help neutralize those acids so you can not only be more explosive within a set, but throughout your workout. So
yeah, very popular ingredient. Another one right along creatine. Got a lot of research.
A lot of research on it. So next they have an amino acid complex in here. What's the dose on it? It's almost 6 grams.
Yeah, about 6 grams.
And I guess the thought is there's some BCAAs in there. Is that putting some free-form amino acids, the thought typically is that it's going to activate the mTOR pathway, so that if you're on a hypocaloric diet, it can help stop your body from basically eating up muscle is kind of the idea.
Yeah,
so.
it's a popular addition to a lot of pre-workout supplements because you're taking before the workout. So their thought is, oh, it might keep you from using muscle mass as an energy source or breaking down muscle mass. And like John has stated, and we've stated in videos in the past, I mean, if you're eating a lot of calories, if you're taking in some carbs, it's really not needed throughout the workout because you're getting in enough of these amino acids.
Your body's only going to look to break down muscle if you don't have enough calories to burn. I mean, it really is that simple. So, it's not wholly necessary, but if you're on, like we said, a low-calorie diet and you're trying to avoid extra calories, that's where these amino acids can help. So,
yeah, the next they call it controlled sympathomimetic psychoactive.
They're stims, basically.
Stimulants, yeah. The first one, 1,3,7-trimethylxanthine, that's just caffeine, another way to term it. And, caffeine's got a lot of, it's something you can feel. Definitely something that a lot of times we won't go by anecdotal evidence. We want to see research on it, but caffeine's something that you can definitely feel.
Yeah, and there is some research demonstrating caffeine, but like you said, the dose is going to vary from person to person, like what one person feels versus another, and that's typically dependent upon if a person takes a lot of caffeine. We always talk about building up a tolerance. So, with stimulants, we always recommend breaking up your doses because if you get your body adapted to taking 200 milligrams of caffeine a day, eventually the 200 milligrams, you're just not going to feel it the same because you build up that tolerance. So, a good way is just to break up how often you use it. If you want to use something like this every day that has stims, use it for a shorter period of time, 4 or 8 weeks maybe, and then give yourself, at least half that amount of time off from it. The only thing to be aware of is you can get withdrawal headaches if you've taken caffeine for a long time, so you can do something like a cup of green tea to stave that off. Or you could take it, maybe only 3 or 4 days a week.
Yeah, you don't need to take it every day.
Yeah, and if you're taking this for the creatine and beta-alanine, well, you could buy those separate pretty cheap, and you can, take those on those separate days to keep your body saturated with them. So.
Yeah, next ingredient, 2-amino-4-methylhexane. That's another name for geranium, or I guess they're saying it's a component of geranium oil, or the 1,3-dimethylamylamine, however you want to say it. Popular ingredient in a lot of pre-workouts, fat burners. It does provide a pretty good buzz, some good energy. It's extremely popular. There is some issues in terms of its legality or if it's being banned in certain organizations.
It was banned by WADA in 2009. It was added to their 2010 banned substance list, and that's caused a lot of confusion. A lot of people have said because the effects are similar to amphetamines, people say, oh, you're going to test positive for amphetamines. It's not true. It's not possible. The chemical structure is just that it's not feasible without getting into all the chemistry of it. But because of that, like we said, there's people who say, oh, it's a false positive. That's not true. Some organizations have flat out banned it. I know the Jamaican sprinters, I think, took it, and it wasn't banned at that time, to be fair to them, but they found it to be similar to another drug, so I think they still had a fine levied against them or something like that. The history of it was brought out by ErgoPharm in like 2006, and it was put in, what was it? AMP. Yeah, Ergoline AMP. And it was brought out as an alternative to ephedrine, because ephedrine was kind of on its way out at the time. The effects are not on the level of ephedrine, at least not in terms of fat burning, but I think...
But you do get a good energy boost from it. Stimulation, mental focus, things like that.
Euphoria, a lot of people report that's kind of the party drug thing.
Yeah, it's a party drug in Australia.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation as to being dangerous and stuff, but there's really nothing valid to show that. There really just needs to be more peer-reviewed research on this. We really couldn't find anything good as far as that goes. It's really more anecdotal, which we do dismiss, but with stimulants, it tends to be a little bit more relevant because it's something you could take and feel right away. You're going to know if you feel it. So a lot of these, purported effects we talk about are based on what we know. I think in the last pharmacological mechanism study that we found was in like 1950 or something like that. So it needs to be updated in terms of that. So not only from a safety standpoint, like we said, I think there's some hyperbole, some people saying it's going to do this and that, but plenty of people have taken it, and that's serving as somewhat of a study. There's been fine, so that's the main thing with it. So I know you've taken it pure by itself.
Yeah, I take it by itself. I've taken it with just caffeine. Get a good boost from it. The only side effect I've ever noticed is you can crash from it. So 4 to 6 hours later, you start to get really tired.
And most stims will kind of...
And that's kind of most stimulants, especially, caffeine and things like that.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Bottom line is there should be some more research done on it so we can get a little better, give you some more information that we could be confident in saying, hey, this is exactly what it does and what it doesn't do. But we do rely a little bit on the anecdotal here when it comes to that. Next, there's some electrolytes in there, and mainly I'm assuming for hydration is the
I guess some of the idea maybe while you're working out, you're going to be sweating. You lose some of these electrolytes in your sweat just to replenish those, keep you hydrated. Next set of ingredients is just a bunch of antioxidants. They add like vitamin C, vitamin E, selenium, zinc, folic acid, vitamin B6, and vitamin B12. The idea behind these is that within
you're working out, you're stressing
your body, you're creating a lot of free radicals. It can neutralize those. So that's why they're added in there.
Now, I noticed there's no pump ingredients in this product.
Yeah, so
it's refreshing, to say the least.
It is, definitely. A lot of pre-workouts, you're noticing, oh, get the pump, get the energy. Well, they've realized that, we're going to focus on the energy.
Yeah, the research is lacking. The theory is there, but as of right now, the research is lacking. That may change. There may be some ingredient that comes out and, that shows that it does increase nitric oxide, but right now it's been proven to be rate limiting. Makes sense in theory, but not in practice. So basically what this is it's a nice product that's going to give you some creatine, some beta-alanine, and some stimulants together. That's the way we would view it, So if you like getting it all in one and you like getting your stims with your creatine, beta-alanine, that's fine. We just recommend on the days that you don't take it, if you are in fact looking to benefit from creatine, beta-alanine, that you buy it separately. In a pure form, you can save some money and.
Because those are ingredients that you want to keep taking every day.
Yes.
You want to saturate the muscle with
Exactly. And as we said with the stims, you want to give yourself a break from time to time to keep them effective for you. So I think that was really all the questions we got. When to take it, obviously pre-workout, or at least not before bed because of the stims. So you can take it on non-workout days if you so choose. But like we said, the breaking up of it would be to keep you sensitive to the stimulants. So I think it covers everything. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to post them in the comments section. We're happy to answer them. Also check us out at facebook.com/bestpricenutrition. Thank you.
Thank you.